Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Grand River Raceway for this Friday evening racing action from the river. Going to post in about 20 minutes. Blue skies mostly overhead, little dusting of white clouds, but of no significance. The track is listed as fast, a beautiful night for racing action, and we'll get a look at the changes on this evening's card. In race number 1, number 5, Talk Some Smack. It'll be Jason Ryan to drive. Jason Ryan drives number 5, Talk Some Smack, in the first. And scratched is number 8, Shanghai Kai. Race 1, scratch number 8, Shanghai Kai. In race number 2, note that number 9, 2 for Tripping, has a shoe change, flip-flops to aluminum shoes up front. That is, flip-flops to aluminum, but just up front. In race number 3, number 5, Dad's Princess, did not race June the 21st because the card was canceled. And race number 4, number 7, Alvin Brickrock. The driver is going to be Travis Henry. Travis Henry is going to drive 7, Alvin Brickrock, in the 4th. In race number 5, number 3, Sporty Tory. The driver is going to be Garrett Rooney, race 5, number 3, Sporty Tory, Garrett Rooney. Number 8, Salzburg Chassis, a bridle change, blind to Swedish blind. That's blind to Swedish blind. And 9 is Outlaw I'm Hot Vixen. The driver is going to be Ryan DeRoche. Ryan DeRoche drives the 9 in the 5th. Race number 6, no changes, no changes, race number 6. In the 7th race, number 9, All Brawn, races with trotting hobbles. Race 7, all 9, number 9, All Brawn, races with trotting hobbles. In race number 8, number 2, Graham's Lily, and 4, Einhorn is Finkel, drivers to be announced. Race 8, 2, and 4, TBA. Ninth race, no changes, no changes, race 9. And the 10th race, number 7, My Mini Miracle, is scratched. Race 10, scratch number 7, My Mini Miracle. Those are all the changes that we have at this moment. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, 5, Talk Some Smack. Jason Ryan will drive, and number 8, Shanghai Kai, scratched. And the second race, number 9, 2 for Tripping, shoe change, flip-flops to aluminum shoes. It is currently 16 minutes to post time, and time to welcome in our handicapping expert, Robert Reed Jr. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic, Gary. And why? Because it's Friday, right? Thank God it's Friday. We made it through another week, and it's time for a fantastic night of harness racing action here at the river. We've got 10 dashes on tap, and I'm always excited about those multi-leg wagers where Gary and I, map out tickets and stuff. But tonight we've got a carryover in race 6 in our super high 5 of just under $3,000. So it's really a must-play opportunity in that one tonight. You cannot miss out on that one, folks, and it's a wager that has potential to pay huge, really. So that's going to be in race 6. But Gary and I will come back at around 10 minutes to post or so, and break down the pick 5 wager, and we'll see you then.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 8 outstanding pacers, including $2 million winner and O'Brien Horse of the Year betting line, who is new to Canada in 2022. Look for first crop yearlings from these 3 standout stallions in 2022. O'Brien Award winner and earner of over $1.4 million, Jimmy Freight, Horse of the Year and richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, McWicked, and O'Brien Award winner and Metro Pace champion, Stag Party. Also standing millionaires, Art Spink, Better Than Cheddar, Better's Delight, and Shadow Play. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com. That's winbackfarm.com. Winback Farm of Canada is home to 3 exceptional trotters. Archangel, sire 2 2021 Super Final winners, Fashion Frenzy and Twin B Archie. My MVP, sire 2021 Ohio Sire Stakes Final winner Herculesa. Look for My MVP's first Ontario crop and 2-year-old stakes action in 2022. Trixton sired many 2021 stakes winners, including Quattro de Julio and Beltassima. His first Ontario crop will fall in 2022. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
Quickly approaching post time for the opener here at Grand River Raceway on a Friday night, and just about 6 minutes or so till the horse will be moving out onto the track for that first race. And in that opener starts off the pick 5, one of my favorite wagers here at Grand River Raceway. The pool is guaranteed at $2,500, and Gary and I always map out tickets for you. So let's take a look at what we've got in store for you this evening, and I think we're on similar wavelengths. Let's take a look here. So I'm going to start off pretty skinny, and then we're going to really spread out late in the sequence. So we're going to single the 4 in the first race. That's Sunshine Love, finished second, beaten 6 lengths to Cheeto last time. Cheeto went on to win last night at Mohawk Park, win a big mile there. So I think that's a good form reference. So I'm singling Sunshine Love, odds-on favorite right now in the opener. Second race, I couldn't separate Called In Sick and Beat Reporter. I do lean towards Called In Sick, but they both raced fantastic last time. I think that one of those two will emerge victorious. You're going to use them both, 1-3 in the second leg. Singling again in race number 3, the 5, Dad's Princess, has just been lights out as of late. Just dominant winner last time. I think she's going to do much of the same again tonight against a similar group. I didn't want to, waste any equity and go beyond her. So just singling Dad's Princess in the third race. Then we're going to start to spread out and try to get a little bit creative. In race number 4, the inside 4, I do think that Manhattan Joe, raced well last time. Will love the pole position this time around. Somewhere in Tuscany, I think is an improving type. Those are the 2 that I like the most in the race. I'm going to use the inside 4 as those are the ones that I think, fit that classification the best. And then in race 5, Gary might say I didn't do any handicapping. I did. I thought it looked like the toughest race in the card, so I said I'm just going to take an all, because when I take an all, it's usually going to be in the last leg of a sequence. I find that's where you get the most value when you do push the all button, and I'm going to do it in that race because I had a little bit of money to play with here. So just $14.40 for that ticket, but let's see what Gary Guy has in store for us this evening.
Well, Rob, I'm going to try to keep it alive. I've gotten 3 of the last 5 pick 5s, including this past Wednesday. $8 returning $480. So I'm going to try to roll the hot pick 5 hand. And we see the first race the same, and the tote board sees it that way as well. 1-2 on number 4, Sunshine Love. Second race, it seems to be a 2-horse race, Called In Sick and Beat Reporter. So, like you, it took them both. Race number 3. You have 5, Dad's Princess, but I added L'Argent Lena. That could be dangerous, leaving L'Argent Lena out on a 3-race win streak, the last 2 in this class. Tougher post, but just I'm afraid to leave L'Argent Lena out. And it's not the 5th race I think you didn't handicap. The 4th race you just took the inside 4 because you were excited about looking at the 5th race, and I actually looked at the race and went much differently than you and took the 3 and the 7. So we're kind of in a different mood on race number 4. And then the 5th race, we're of the same mind. After looking at it for a long time, I said, Why am I trying to exclude anybody? I can't exclude anybody, so don't. Take it in and all. We spent the same money, 1440.
All right, there you go. So same amount of money. We're both taking it all in the money leg, and Gary thinks that I didn't handicap the fourth. I did handicap the fourth race. I do believe that the inside four, one of those ones will be the most likely winner. And how about the humble brag from Gary Guy when he started off there to say he's cashed the last three? Oh, just a $500 winner or so last time. So no, Gary's been on a roll, folks. He's been really putting on a handicapping clinic, and I'm hoping it continues tonight. Why? Because I'm a team player. But I think we both have a good chance
And I'm not.
Of cashing. There he is,
Definitely not.
The voice of God from the heavens, Gary Guy. And anyways, so I think we both have a chance of winning it, but 3 minutes away until the opener, folks. Make sure you map out your winning tickets for this sequence. It always, provides some good value and typically a good payoff. So we'll come back and take a closer look at race one after the post parade.
Fans noted, race 3, we have a scratch of number 6, Salzburg Easy. Race 3, scratch 6, Salzburg Easy. Field 4, race number 1 on parade. 1 is running on luck. Scotty Kohler for Sean Hyatt and Kyle Stretch. Number 2 is Point to Sweet Lou. Ryan DeRoche for Jody Cullen and A1 Stable. And number 3 is Radar Enforced. Colin Kelly for Joe Squires and Bobby Weinhold Harrison. Crazy Parrot Farm. And 4 is Sunshine Love Anthony Hunt for Lori LePage and Rebecca Williamson. And 5 is Talk Some Smack, Jason Ryan for Jackie Moe and Joanne Colville and Nancy McNiven and Robbie Wabawa, and Mark Mainprize. At number 6, Raising Sand, Bruce Richardson for Emma Christopheru and the Mo and Joe Stable and Nancy McNevin. Number 7 is Written in Stone, Dave Duncan for Brenda Duncan. And 9 is State Affair, Paul McKenzie for Bill Budd and Deborah Hewson and Bruce Norris. It's a field of 8, race 1, first of 10 dashes on a warm Friday night at the river. We're going to start right away with Sunshine Love, and Rob and I both expect the sun to be shining on post 4 in the first race. 1-2 tells the story, Rob.
Yeah, getting hammered right now. I mean, to be expected. And the one thing, originally you look at it and say, well, we got beat 6 lengths last time as the odds-on favorite, but that was the Cheeto, and he was a runaway freight train on that occasion, and then came back to win at Mohawk Park last night. Wasn't the prettiest going horse on the track, but did produce a real gutsy effort to get the job done there. So I think that's a good form reference for Sunshine Love. And yeah, I'd be surprised if this one gets beat in the opener.
Number 2, Point to Sweet Lou. You used it for second, and I did originally have him for second, and then I went a different direction, but I wouldn't be shocked if this horse steps up with a big-time performance. You see some lines looking a little further back. You see some little hints that there might be something pretty major in this one.
Yeah, definitely some hints that there's some speed there. And, first time racing now for Jody Cullen. I mean, we've seen that angle, work wonders here and beyond. Post 2 to work from. It doesn't really show much early speed, which is obviously a concern. But, I mean, that's something that, could be remedied by the inside post position. The time away, obviously, it's, a long time between starts for this one. So maybe needs one or 2 before going to be ready to produce his best. But I think a 13-1, an overlay right now on the board.
Number 3, Radar Enforced, is one I wrestled with. First I had this one 4th and then moved all the way up to 2nd. That last race at Clinton, I'm not impressed, but I was impressed before that, especially a 2nd at 57-4, May the 26th. And Joe Squires won a couple here on Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what? You got to look at that hot barn angle, right? And Joe Squires did win a pair of races, and there were a couple of real nice efforts from his horses on that evening. And Radar Enforced, 2 back, nice effort to be second, and 2 runner-up finishes in his last 3, and now gets to work from a decent post position again here at the river. So I think that this looks like a pretty good spot for him to get a decent piece of it. And for me, one I'm using in the bottom end of the exotics.
Number 5, Talk Some Smack. Jason Ryan is going to drive for Jackie Moe. First-time starter. What jumps out at me is the back half of the qualifier.
Yeah, the back half was really nice, 57-4. Last quarter, 28-4. And originally, when I looked at this race, I kind of said, this might be the place to land. First-time starter, and a decent qualifier. Comes over here to the river after qualifying at Mohawk Park. And thought this horse would provide some value, and he's doing exactly that right now at 11-1. After watching the replay, I decided, you know what, I'm going to just put this one underneath tonight, but I'll be keeping a keen eye on him for next time.
So we do wind up with 4, Sunshine Love, sitting at 3-5, but we talked about 3 that we wouldn't be surprised if they stepped up with a big effort. We'll see if we get away with being singled up on the pick 5. We want to, so we can fan out later, but we're going to find out how it unfolds right here with Running on Lock and Point to Sweet Lou on the inside. In the center, Radar Enforced and Sunshine Love and Talk Some Smack to the outside, Raising Sand and Written in Stone. And the second tier, State Affair, field of 8. Race number 1. First dash on a Friday night as the horses are gathered in behind the starting gates. It is post time. Here they come. And the field for race number 1 is at the start of the round. Sunshine Love is going to lead with Running on Long. Then Point to Sweet Lou and Radar Enforced is rolling well early. The field works on around the turn. And then racing positioned 5th right now is Talk Some Smack. Then it is back to State Affair. And then we've got Raising Sand and Written in Stone. And they race the round down the backstretch. And Sunshine Love is shining early. 1-5 on the board and leads it by about 7 or 8 lengths over Running on Luck. Point to Sweet Lou is third. Radar and Forest is fourth, and then Talk Some Smack and State of Fair. And then it is Racing Sand and Written in Stone. And they race their way past the opening quarter in 28 seconds. Sunshine Love and Anthony Hahn has the lead, but now looks for a second panel breather. And Point to Sweet Lou took to the outside, already moving. And on the inside, Running on Luck. Point to Sweet Lou has come on to take over second. Running on Luck is third. And then racing position fourth as they come on past us is Radar and fourth. The front four have separation on the rest of the field. It is Sunshine Love of a half of 57-1. And then Point to Sweet Lou is on the outside, racing position second. Running on Luck is third. And now Point to Sweet Lou is going to drop on the inside and save some ground, sitting on the back of Sunshine Love, who's still the 1-5 favorite, and the one to beat leads by 2 over Point to Sweet Lou. Running on Luck on the inside, and now Radar and Forest. Those four still have big separation on the rest of the field. Of a half of 57-1, they roll to 3/4, 126-1, and Sunshine Love, no urging yet, and leads it by about 3 over Point to Sweet Lou. Looks like the only one that has any chance to call her Sunshine Love as they turn for home. 3/4, 126-1, and Sunshine Love as they come on down the stretch ride. That any chance is dwindling, and it is Sunshine Love. There's no catching Sunshine Love in the sunshine on a Friday night in 155-4. Point to Sweet Lou, Radar and Forest, and then it was Running on Luck. 155-4. Sunshine Love, the one to love in the first race, Rob.
Yeah, it did not disappoint. A huge performance from Sunshine Love, 55-4. That's a big mile. And last time, finished second in 56-3, and obviously took a lot out of that race because came right back and dominated his rivals tonight. And I mean, if it wasn't for Point to Sweet Lou, he would have won by a football field. That's one to keep an eye on for next time. First start back in a long time. And probably needed that tightener, so should be much better if it gets back in on a regular rotation. But yeah, Sunshine Love was certainly the story in the opener, Gary.
And we do get away with being singled up, and it seemed like the logical thing to do. You don't want to spend fanning out there and then not have a horses later on in the Big Five, where it looks like we're going to need it. 1-5, the tote board did tell the story, and then we did get 2-3-1 as the next three, so really a reasonably logical superfecta.
Yeah, inside numbers and like you said, logical. I like the move that Point to Sweet Lou made to get around a rival to drop into the 2-hole behind this one, and Radar and Forest, showed some decent late pop to get around Running on Luck, but they were really in a different time zone than Sunshine Love and even Point to Sweet Lou for that matter.
Well, we're 1/10 of the way through this Monday evening under the sunshine, and coming back in front of us is Sunshine Love. Sunshine Love's a 3-year-old Sunshine Beach Brown gelding, owned by Rebecca Williamson, trained by Lori LePage, and Anthony Hahn is the winning driver. Sunshine Love won 55-4. The first race payouts at number 4, Sunshine Love, 240, 210, 210. 2 Point to Sweet Lou, 340, 240, and 3 Radar and Force, 260. $2 exactor, $760 try, $740 superfected, $22.55. Fans note in race number 3, number 5, Dad's Princess, claim entered. Claim entered, race 3, 5, Dad's Princess. The first race order finish from the top 4, 2, 3, 1, 6, 5, 8, scratch 7. That's 4, 2, 3, 1, 6, 5, 8, scratch 7. Field for the second race on parade. One called in sick. Brian Madonna for Tim Myers and David O'Macaulay. Number 2 is River Cruise. Scott called for Robert Fellows and Nora Parks. And 3 is beat reporter Garrett Rooney for David O'Brien and Charles Windsor. And 4 is Finn T. Sealster, Scott Ray for Lyle Greenwich. 5 is Little Tags, Chris Johnston for Gerald Weir. And number 6, Full Credit, Tom Smith for Jane Walker. And number 7, Feisty Like Fire, Anthony Hahn for Lori LePage and Rebecca Williamson. Number 8, Sharky Bear, Jason Ryan for Kevin Botts. And 9, 2 for Tripping, Colin Kelly for Ivan Galan. Field of 9, race number 2. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, last week I did not take Called In Sick. I took River Cruise, and well, I didn't go to the wedding, but I'm going to show up at the funeral anyway because Called In Sick, I think it's just the one to beat. There's so many ways that you look at this race that it looks like Called In Sick comes back 7 days, while Beat Reporter 14 days. When you look at those two, which look to me like the top two, I still think you land on Called In Sick.
Back last time, first start back looked great. Last time looked even better. I think we might even see him take another step forward tonight, and he gets to do it from the pole position. He's had inside posts in each of his last 2, but now even a better one. He's got his ears up on the track. He looks fantastic out there. 4 to 5 on the board. I did think that those 2 would be closer in odds than they are right now. A little bit surprised to see Beat Reporter at 6 to 1. But I do think they call them 6 to 1 to beat.
Maybe the question is how the trip unfolds. I think we have to assume that Called In Sick gets to the front. Could Beat Reporter get to the front and then let Called In Sick come back around, sit the pocket, and try to beat him late? The other problem I have with that scenario is I don't see how there's going to be enough pace. There wasn't pace last week for Called In Sick.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that Beat Reporter's best path to glory here is going to be to have to outleave him and then maybe release him, because River Cruise does have enough early speed that he'll be pushing, through, and 2 for Tripping's going to be, in the trailing post trying to close a hole too. So Beat Reporter might have to, bust out of there and try to get around Called In Sick to get forwardly placed. But right now the odds board, 6 to 1. That's a big number on Beat Reporter, and maybe that week in between starts is what's doing it.
Well, for the sake of our pick 5, we'd like the one at longer odds since we both have the 1 and 3, but others to look at. Number 2, River Cruise. I was on this one last week, and that didn't work out well, but River Cruise certainly is going to leave out well, got the pocket, and finished second. Maybe River Cruise can split those 2 here.
Yeah, an improving type for sure, because first start, back off a layoff, he raced good, he got locked in, had pace late to finish 3rd to Alvin Brickrock. Last time, obviously, couldn't get anywhere near Called In Sick, but he might continue to progress. And 9 to 1 on the board right now. I thought, again, the money would go the way of Called In Sick, then Beat Reporter, and then just behind that one River Cruise. But we're not seeing that right now with the 4 Finn T. Sealster taking money. But River Cruise is one you have to have underneath here because he figures to get the most favorable trip in the race.
Now, for 4th, we all have 1, 3, 2. All of the handicappers as our top 3. But for 4th, all of us except for you went with Feisty Like Fire. You went full credit.
Yeah, I went with full credit just because I like the way this one won. It was all the way back in May now, but I love that victory at Western Fair. And since then, he's raced at a couple of decent starts. I thought last time was okay, finishing 4th at over 100 to 1, and 3 back, getting the bottom end of the trifecta in 3rd. So I thought he'd be a big number on the board. He is 35 to 1. The other one that I'm a little bit intrigued by, Gary, is the 9, 2 for Tripping. I love it when a horse goes flip-flops to anything. I really do, because it just is an angle that's worked for me. And 21 to 1 and 2 for Tripping, that's one I definitely have in my exotics as well.
And I like 7 Feisty Like Fire because I think this one just might leave a bunch and then get into the front grouping maybe and be able to land on a ticket just by leaving from post 7, because I think there might not be a lot of gate speed after the inside 3. We'll see how it unfolds, but it is unfolding right now. Called In Sick and River Cruise, and Beat Reporter on the inside. Finn T. Sealster, Little Tags to the outside, Full Credit. Feisty Like Fire and Sharky Bear. And the second tier, 2 for Tripping. It's a field of 9 for the second race. There at the start of the rough, and River Cruise pops out hard. Called in Sick along to the inside. Then Full Credit and Feisty Like Fire as the field works their way into the turn. And Called in Sick on the inside. River Cruise is now second. And from the outside, Sharky Bear is driving on. And Full Credit is fourth, and then 2 for Tripping. Feisty Like Fire, Beat Reporter, then Finty, Silster, and Little Tags, and now it is Sharky Bear who's got the lead, and now on the retake will be Called in Sick. It is Called in Sick who's come back around Sharky Bear for the front, and then racing position third is River Cruise, and Full Credit is fourth. Then it is 2 for Tripping, Feisty Like Fire. Beat Reporter has just 2 beaten right now, and they are Finty, Silster, and Little Tags, and they race off the turn. Called in Sick, a solid opening quarter of 27-4. It is Called in Sick and Brett McDonald. And that is Sharky Bear who's racing the pocket. River Cruise is third. Then Full Credit. There goes 2 for Tripping, now working on the outside. And Beat Reporter is going to follow 2 for Tripping. Scooting up the inside is Feisty Like Fire. Then as they roll in the backstretch off a solid half of 56-4, it is Finty, Silter, and Little Tags. It is Called in Sick who's got the lead. Sharky Bear at 14-1 sits the pocket. 2 for Tripping is skating up on the outside third now. And River Cruise is racing fourth. And now Beat Reporter a little bit closer, second over fifth. And Full Credit is sixth and seventh. Feisty Like Fire. Up 3/4 26-1. It is Called in Sick who leads. Sharky Bear. Then 2 for Tripping. River Cruise on the inside. And now Full Credit is kicking in hardly. And also coming is Feisty Like Fire, dropping down to the inside. They turn on down the stretch drive off 3/4 26-1. And Called in Sick and Sharky Bear. Called in Sick wins it. Sharky Bear was second. Then it was River Cruise and Feisty Like Fire. 155-2. Called in Sick. A strong performance, a very healthy performance by Called in Sick and Brett McDonald from post position 1.
Yeah, 3 in a row for this horse, and they've all been, dominating performances. And again, 55-2, dropped some significant time, almost 2 full seconds off his lifetime mark there. So one that's you keep an eye on going forward, doing good things right now. Should be brimming with confidence. Sharky Bear, I did not think he could get away that well from post 8. I thought he was one that you could consider in here with an inside post, but not from out there. But Jason Ryan had him flying off the switch to get to the lead and then get a nice spot in the 2-hole.
Yeah, before the race, I was talking about one on the outside that might be able to leave and then get a position because there might not be enough gate speed on the inside. There was gate speed. Sharky Bear provided it from the outside, not the one that I thought, Feisty Like Fire.
Yeah, Sharky Bear really blasted out of there. And, River Cruise got that favorable trip that I thought he would get, and we thought he could get from post 2, but, he just really didn't have, much to offer and got a small piece of it, but not really in the same category as Called in Sick, that's for sure.
And then Feisty Like Fire actually did come on late and pick up a fourth at 60-1. All of the handicappers, with the exception of you, had this one as the fourth best. 60-1, I didn't see that. But the tactics were the opposite of what I thought.
Yeah, 60-1's always going to help out that, the superfecta wager, that's for sure. You need to get a price on there when a 1 to 5 shot wins it. Full Credit's one that, I'd keep an eye on going forward as well. He tried a wide move on that final turn, finished 5th, didn't miss 4th by too much, and one I'll, keep an eye on for next time.
Well, coming back in front of us, the winner of race number 2, a rather healthy number 1, Called in Sick, a 3-year-old Bettor's Delight Bay gelding, owned by David O'Macaulay, trained by Tim Myers. Brett McDonald, the winning driver, 4th win in 5 starts for Called in Sick, 155-2, a new career best. The second race payouts one called in sick to 40 to 2240. Age Sharky Bear $9 and 2. River Cruise $3.40. $2 exactor $16.30. Try $21.55. Super $161.95. And the double of 4 and 1 $4. Fans note the claim entered on number 5, Dad's Princess in the third. The second race order of finish from the top 138,975,426. That's 138,975,426.
Well, it's been a favorite parade so far here at the river with the odds-on choices converting in the opening two races. Means lots of people are still alive in that pick five wager. But now it's time to start the early pick four. Guaranteed pool, $2,500 gets started right here in race number three. I prepared a ticket to share with you, and I'll be honest, just starting to maybe second guess myself a little bit here on Dad's Princess. But listen, I'm going to stick with her. She's my single. She is taking on tougher, but she's been so good as of late. I think she can get the better of this group. Larjon Lena, one that I'm typically in her camp. She's got to work with the trailing post tonight. I'm not so sure, that will work out for her because she is a speedster type. So I'm going to single Dad's Princess here right now at 9-5 in race four, the inside four. Again, I really lean towards Manhattan Joe and the two. That's the one and the two somewhere in Tuscany. Those are the two that I do like the most. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it inside in that race, and then in the fifth race, just like Gary, we're going to take the all. I'm just going to hit the all button. It's a tough contest, one of the most difficult ones to handicap on the entire card. A lot of decent mares in that race. Some have tricky post positions. I think there could be a price that emerges from that one. So we're going to take an all there in race five. And then in race six, just too deep with the two Holly's Treasure, one that always gives a hard, gritty performance, and I think will be right there at the wire tonight. And my top selection, Party in the Shadows, that's the four, and has gone first over in both of his last two, lived out there and finished third in each of those efforts. I think that he gets the victory tonight, but I'm going to go too deep with the 2 and 4. And I think Gary's joining us right now.
You want me to chime in? I'm a little worried about
Of course I do.
three Bet You Love Me, so I would go 5-9-3 in this first leg. So there's three, and
You
I
know
know.
what?
Well, go ahead.
That's the one that I'm worried about, Gary. So our good friend of the show, Chuck C, he messaged us actually before the card and said he didn't want to tip his hand to say who he liked in this race. And he didn't want to ruin that value in the pick five. And it's the three Bet You Love Me, and it's a monumental drop down in class.
Well,
It really is.
that is
So
the thing. And look, raced in nominators a three at Flamborough back in May, and raced credibly to race fourth, but 56-2, 56-3 at Flamborough measures well here. The three could be dangerous. In the fourth race, actually took the time out to handicap the race, as I mentioned. Then you took the inside four. I'm going to go with the 3 and 7. So there's 3 times 2 is 6. Big time math here. Then the all. And then I only need Party in the Shadows because I loved Party in the Shadows last time out and raced really, really well. Just, it was such a hard effort, but I would come right back to Party in the Shadows. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 9 is 54. I can do math.
yep, just $10.80. There you go for a 20-cent ticket. So that's Gary's ticket. And listen, I like it, and to be honest, like I said, I'm a little bit concerned with this three now. Bet You Love Me. So maybe that's one you want to add to your ticket. But I'm already locked in. I've got Dad's Princess as my single here in race three. We got a minute until the horses will be moving out onto the track for this third race. We'll come back in just a few moments and take a closer look at this dash.
Field 4, race number 3 on parade. 1, She's a Comedian, brought me down for GRR Plot, Michelle Letarte and Jean Allaire. Number 2 is Big Bad Jan Bo Brown for Waylon Eubank. Number 3 is Bet You Love Me, Anthony Hunt for Lori LePage and Rebecca Williamson and Connie McTaggart. And 4 is Reaganomics, Gerard Demers for himself. 5, Dad's Princess, Colin Kelly for Boyd Wilson and Lisa DeRoche, claim entered. 6, Scratch 7, Scarlet Dragon, Talaborth for Steve Bossens and Brianna Eckenstein. Number 8 is Saturn 5, Travis Henry for Matt Dupuis and Sam Mulholland. And 9 is Larjan Lena, Ryan DeRoche for Mark Winnicott and Jim Maximo Racing. It's a field of 8 for race number 3. Let's get a look at this field. And number 5, Dad's Princess. The claim is in 3 to 5. A lot of people have some confidence in this one with Dad's Princess. And by the way, that in the program where it says June 21st missing line didn't race on Tuesday. The card was canceled. Dad's Princess, Rob.
Yeah, Dad's Princess. Listen, a lot of I think a lot of multi tickets are hinging on her as well. She's 3 to 5 right now. This is a tougher spot than last time, but I mean, she won so easy, and she's been racing so well in her last bunch of starts. For trainer Boyd Wilson, claimed tonight. So there is no tomorrow for these connections, and I think she's gonna get pointed right to the lead again. And the horse that you would think would challenge her early is Larjan Lena, but that one's got to work from the trailing post. So I think that Dad's Princess is still a standout in here, but I think we know the one that we're worried about.
Well, let's get to Larjan Lena. 10 to 1 on the board. We have this one both as the second choice. It is the trailer post, but Larjan Lena was racing in the bottom class, moved up the last 2 and proved that she's no fluke. 56-2, a win by 6 lengths here. I think maybe Larjan Lena can handle the trailer post.
Well, the price is wild on her right now. I mean, I thought that we'd see, 7 to 5, 8 to 5, and 2 to 1 on Larjan Lena. So I mean, obviously others are thinking the trailing post might be an issue. She had the trailing post at Western Fair on May 6th. She got away third, tried to move to the lead, ended up stuck first over before backing up. But that's only one start. I mean, she might be able to work out a trip here. I mean, she's a horse that's really tough, but my thing with her is she swells up on the front end. I just don't know how she gets to the lead in here, and that was my concern with her. And that's why I singled the 5, Dad's Princess. But should she be 10 to 1 in here? I don't think so.
Now, number 1, She's a Comedian, is interesting because there's some positives, but then you see that break at the start last time out. But it's Brett McDonald, J.R. Plot, and Post 1, and I think you've been chasing this mare a little bit.
Oh, I've been chasing her a lot. I mean, I was able to get the 3 to 5 on her at Western Fair on May 11th, but haven't been able to get much else with her. And the reason why I used her here, and I think that she's worth a look, is that 2 back. I mean, she's 2 to 5 in this class from post 4. She ended up first over. She backed up. Now she's got the rail to work from. And, back in that same class again, the last effort was against Tougher and on short rest. I can throw that right out. 9 to 1, I mean, she's worth using in the exotics, maybe a win ticket even.
And there's my third choice, number 3, Bet You'll Love Me. And one you're starting to love a little bit more than you did when you made your picks. And one that was good last year as a 3-year-old in 10 starts.
Yeah, this is a monumental drop down in class. The more I look at this race, the more concerned I am, Gary, for my pick 5 ticket and my pick 4 ticket, because now winners of 3 or now winners of 28,000 life, that's open company. This is now a condition claimer with the same lifetime earnings designation. So she's one that figures to be good in here and drew outside post in her last 2. 3 to 1. She took support early. I think she might be the main danger now.
And I understand you're using 7 Scarlet Dragon towards the bottom because this is one that closed onto the bottom from off the pace in each of the last 2 here.
And I've left her off my ticket every single week. And then I hear from you after the race that I left her off again and she finished third, so I had to put her on there this time.
Well, I think it's the right move, but we'll see how it all unfolds. But right now it's She's a Comedian on the inside with Big Bad Jen. In the center, Bet You'll Love Me, Reaganomics, and Dad's Princess. And to the outside, Scarlet Dragon and Saturn 5. And the second tier, Larjan Lena. Field for the third race is at the start, and they're off. And Bet You Love Me, first one to fire out. She's a comedian, is way back at the start. And it is Bet You Love Me as they work into the backstretch. Bet You Love Me and Reaganomics. And on the outside, Dad's Princess is still hustling wide. Is three deep as Reaganomics wants to come on and try to get to the front. But Bet You Love Me, inside advantage, has got the lead. Reaganomics is second. Dad's Princess third. Then it is Scarlet Dragon and Big Bad Jam. Then we're back further as they race on past that opening quarter to Saturn 5. And Larjan Lena right now is racing position to 7th. And then She's a Comedian is way back and out of it. 27-2 is the opening quarter. There goes Dad's Princess stepping out from third. It is Bet You Love Me who's got the lead. Dad's Princess is going to grind up on the outside. And on the inside, Reaganomics. And then Scarlet Dragon is racing up a little bit closer. Big Bad Jen on the inside. And then it is Saturn 5 and Larjan Lena still with plenty of work to do. It was a strong half of 56-4 put up by Bet You Love Me. Reaganomics is right on the inside, conserving ground around the turn. And then on the outside, Dad's Princess is getting closer, but is about still 3 off the lead of a very sharp Bet You Love Me. Scarlet Dragon now is going to roll out 3 wide and get off the cover of Dad's Princess, who might have flattened out. On the inside, Big Bad Jen. And then 3 wide is Larjan Lena. And then Saturn 5. It is Bet You Love Me, 3/4 and a very sharp 125-4. Bet You Love Me getting some urging. Reaganomics. And now to the outside, Larjan Lena is coming, along with Scarlet Dragon. And on the inside, Dad's Princess, they turn for home. Bet You Love Me. Bet You Love Me and Reaganomics. And on the inside, as they come on down the stretch, drive is Dad's Princess. But Bet You Love Me. Then it was Reaganomics and Larjan Lena. And then finishing fourth was Dad's Princess. 156-3. Bet You Love Me. Bet you love her more now, Rob.
Yeah, listen, we knew it going in. This was the horse that was the one to be worried about, and really was just much the best. Again, huge drop down in class, and I'm a little bit embarrassed that I didn't find this one when I did my selections. Chuck C, he messaged and said, "Hey, I don't want to give it away too soon." And when he said that, I actually messaged him back on Twitter and guessed that this was the horse just on that massive drop down in class.
Oh, and by the way, I should mention, inquiry at the start won She's a Comedian, but no inquiry on who was the best one in there. It certainly helped that it was able to fire off the gate very well and get to the front. And you don't see that speed early the last couple, but better post position in this one.
Yeah, better post position, easier competition. And, when they got separated, Bet You Love Me and Dad's Princess, I knew Dad's Princess was in trouble because now the move had to be first over. She's claimed she's got to go first up. She goes first over. That's not really her trip. She's more of a speedster or got 2-hole type. And then she kind of faded, but then came back on again in the stretch, but it still wasn't close to enough to get to Bet You Love Me.
And Larjan Lena, trailer post, you got to keep an eye again. Raced really credibly after being way back. So as soon as she gets back onto the gate, I think you can be right back playing Larjan Lena.
I agree. Nose on the gate, Larjan Lena is always going to be a threat in that class. I mean, she raced well, all things considered, this evening, even from the trailing post.
Back in front of us is number 3, Bet You Love Me, a 4-year-old better than Shetter Bay mare. Anthony Hahn, the winning drive. Lori LePage is the trainer. The owner is Rebecca Williamson and Connie McTaggart. It is Bet You Love Me in 156-3. Fans note number 1, She's a Comedian, will be refunded, determined to have been outside of the first start pole 1, She's a Comedian, a refund in race number 3. There is a look at the start, and 1, She's a Comedian outside of the first start pole at the start. The third race payouts at number 3, Bet You Love Me, 473, 4240. For Reaganomics, 1490 and 540 and 9. Larjan Lena, 340. $2 exactor, 61. $10 Shrine, 111. $20 Super, 269.35. Fans note in race number 8, number 4, Einhorn is Finkel, Scott Coulter will drive. Race 8 for Einhorn is Finkel, Scott Coulter. The third race order of finish from the top is refund 7124 scratch 563. That's refund 7124 scratch 563, and the claim of number 5 Dad's Princess, the trainer Richard Moreau. Field for the fourth on parade. One is Manhattan Joe, Bruce Richardson for Earl McLeod and Clifton Hobbs. Number 2 is Somewhere in Tuscany, Ron DeRoche for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. 3 is Diamond Rock, Tyler Moore for Pam Forgy and Don Scholdice. And 4 is hashtag Watch Me, Bradley Donovan for Sean Arnott and Joe Tonelli. 5 is Little Memories, Chris Johnston for Gerald Weir and Greg Drew. And number 6, Sumax Angel, Paul McKenzie for Kathy McKenzie. And number 7 is Alvin Brickrock, Travis Henry for Common Yellow and Denarvin Stables. A field of 7, race number 4. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Rob, all the handicappers have a wildly different opinion on this one. And you're the only one with Manhattan Joe. I see the angle that you're on Manhattan Joe, and I do understand it. I'll let you explain as you're alone with Manhattan Joe.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to get Manhattan Joe down. I think he's probably a good price in the multi-leg wagers as well. And listen, he draws the pole position. He's been racing in this class. You know, he was a winner against Similar on May 23rd at Western Fair. Vet scratch sick in between starts, so he had been off for nearly a month last time. Stayed inside, really didn't have much of a chance, and thought he had some pace in the third quarter, kind of labored a little bit late. But I think that tonight we're going to see a better version of Manhattan Joe. He's got the pole position to work from, and this does not look like the toughest field for him. So 5-2 on the board. I was hoping for better value than that, Gary, but he's my top selection.
Well, and comes back now 7 days rest as opposed to 24 days, and we love that fresh the angle of coming back 7 days later. Number 2, Somewhere in Tuscany, is one that, well, you liked last time out, and it raced reasonably well, although 31-second final quarter. But Somewhere in Tuscany doesn't have a strong record, but shows much improvement in that last one, getting away from Mohawk.
Yeah, I thought that this one might try to leave a little bit last time, got away fourth, ended up, kind of just not in the greatest spot, and came back on a little bit at the end of that mile. I know they came home in 31 seconds, but still was kind of pacing forward again. So I just like the fact that it's to work from the inside of the gate again, and I don't think that the quality of this field is what it was last time. So I'm happy to go back this one for a piece of it. 9-1 on the board. I think it's a huge overlay on the 2, Somewhere in Tuscany.
Number 4, hashtag Watch Me, is your third choice, and look at the tote board. No clear favorite. 3-1 favorites, lukewarm favorites. 4, hashtag Watch Me is 7-2.
Yeah, this one last time, no chance from post 7. Got away 7th off the gate. Gained ground, didn't really gain much position though. Finished 6th at a long price, and now slides in to a better post position, and is just one that I think might get put into play tonight. You're not going to see that from post 7 last time. It looks pretty sharp in the track right now, and from post 4, we might see this one go forward off the switch. If he does, I think he's got a really big chance. If not, then it might just be for a smaller piece of it.
My top one is number 3, Diamond Rock. Third start off the layoff, and one that has a couple of wins this year back earlier into the winter time. But that first start here, June the 10th, that was in with some really tough company and actually put up a credible mile.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was probably even a better field than we saw last time or tonight in this class. So, and it was a decent effort last time. Obviously, Mohawk Park much tougher. The 32-1, final quarter is what kind of deterred me from putting this horse higher than the 4th spot. But third start back, and one that should be competitive with this group. Took support really throughout. He's co-favorite right now at 3-1, but you mentioned, there's no horse over 7-1 on the board right now.
And that 7-1 is number 7, Alvin Brickrock. Travis Henry with the drive. 1-3 in a row. Last race from the trailer post wasn't as good, but Alvin Brickrock, Rob.
Yeah, and nose back on the gate, and you got to, Travis Henry jumping aboard. I mean, we might see this one try to leave tonight. If he leaves and can somehow get spotted well, he's definitely got a chance in here. One of the longest shots on the board right now. A little bit surprised by that, but I know you wouldn't mind him winning at 7-1.
Well, the tote board tells the story. The longest shot on the board is only 8-1, and the favorites are at lukewarm 3-1 right now. So we'll see how it unfolds. A competitive field. Manhattan Joe somewhere in Tuscany on the inside. Diamond Rock, hashtag watch me, and Lil Memories. On the outside, Sumax Angel and Alvin Brickrock. It's a field of 7. Race number 4. Field for the 4th race is at the start of the round. Diamond Rock is going to leave with somewhere in Tuscany. Sumax Angel and Alvin Brickrock. And then along to the inside is Manhattan Joe. But Diamond Rock is looking to rock out and take the lead from Manhattan Joe. On the inside, Diamond Rock presses on for Tyler Moore. Manhattan Joe fills the pocket somewhere in Tuscany 3rd. Then it is Sumax Angel and hashtag watch me. And Little Memories and Alvin Brickrock is now trailing the field. Diamond Rock is rocking on to the opening quarter and has a lead of 4 right now. Manhattan Joe second, 27-1. It was a sharp opening quarter. Hashtag watch me 3rd, then Sumax Angel as they race their way on around the turn. But Diamond Rock with a lead of a couple of lengths over Manhattan Joe. Somewhere in Tuscany 3rd, then Sumax Angel. Hashtag watch me. Then Little Memories and Alvin Brickrock has to pass them all to win. Diamond Rock leads as they race up to the half. Manhattan Joe is there in the pocket. Then hashtag watch me now is the one we're watching coming first up on a sharp half of 56-3. And Little Memories is moving on the outside and well spotted second over. On the inside, somewhere in Tuscany, locked up 5th, and now Alvin Brickrock has stepped out, and Sumax Angel is trailing the field. It is Diamond Rock, hashtag watch me, and Lil Memories on the outside getting a trip. Manhattan Joe is right there in the pocket on the back of Diamond Rock. It is Diamond Rock by 3/4. Hashtag watch me might have flattened out. Manhattan Joe looks alive in the pocket, and Lil Memories is racing 4th. 3/4 in 1:26. Somewhere in Tuscany, and then Alvin Brickrock and Sumax Angel. It is Diamond Rock as they turn for home. Lil Memories is settled wide. Manhattan Joe is waiting for the passing lane. Diamond Rock and Manhattan Joe. Diamond Rock, Manhattan Joe is getting closer. Diamond Rock, though, is going to hold on and win. Diamond Rock, Manhattan Joe. Then finishing 3rd was Lil Memories and hashtag watch me 4th, a mile of 1:56 flat. Diamond Rock with a gem of an effort.
It really was a nice effort by Diamond Rock. Went right to the front and just kept on going. I mean, speed's been, the place to be for much of tonight so far, and this horse, rode that trip to victory. I thought Manhattan Joe with that trip, I couldn't ask for anything more, Gary. I really thought that that one would punch up the passing lane there and give me a good chance there, but couldn't get close to Diamond Rock, who was much the best.
Well, I knew that it was going to be one of the two of us because it looked like 3-1 when they turned for home, although a really good effort by Little Memories, who did not get a mention on the top 4 anywhere from any of the selectors, and kind of proved that, look, what did he do wrong? He's got a win and a second in 4 starts this year.
Yeah, it's been, he's one of those ones that I guess you look at it and say on his recent performances should be competitive with the group. Wasn't one that I thought would be put into play like that in a second over position, and certainly turned in a decent effort to land at the bottom end of the trifecta at 13-1.
Of course, the key with Diamond Rock was able to get the early lead, but it wasn't like he stole it. 56-3 was a very legitimate half, and it was competitive, but Diamond Rock did not tire late.
No, he didn't, and that's a good effort to, you'd mentioned before the race, right? The third start back off a layoff. They should really, help Diamond Rock's confidence now. He should be feeling much better about himself, and that was a rock solid effort. 4-1 on the board, up from 5-2 in the morning line. One that I kind of thought was a, more of a minor player in here, but ended up getting a line share of it.
Back in front of us is number 3, Diamond Rock, a 4-year-old better than Shatterbay gelding, owned by Pam Forkey and Don Schuldeis. Pam Forkey is the trainer. Tyler Moore with the winning drive. It's the 3rd win this year, 7th lifetime. Diamond Rock, 156 flat. The fourth race, payouts 3 Diamond Rock, 1060, 430, and 381. Manhattan Joe, $4 and 290, and 5 Little Memories, 570. $2 exactor, 2660. Dollars ride, 159.35. Dollars superfecta, 1129.30. The fourth race order of finish from the top down, 251 4376. That's 251 4376. Field 4, race number 5 on Parade 1. Black Betty, Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 2, Ladies from Hell, Scott Kohler for Mike Sumner and Shay Sumner. 3 is Sporty Tory, Garrett Rooney for Gord McKnight and M&S Racing. 4 is Tugging on Credit, Jason Ryan for Shane Barrington and Mario Villani. And 5 is Layla Blue, Tyler Borth for Doug Good. Number 7 is My Wish List for You, Colin Kelly for Steve Bossons. 8 is Salisbury Jesse, Brent McDonough for Ron McDonald and Edward Gork. 9 is Outlaw I'm a Hot Vixen, Ryan DeRoche for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen. Well, let's get a look at this field. It is a field of 9, the Manulife Patio Party. A race for fillies mares, a great race to look at. And Rob, I think you're sitting on a really good situation here with the 5, with Garrett Rooney now down to drive. And we didn't know this when we made the picks, but with Gord McKnight adding Garrett Rooney to catch drive, I think that makes this one a very strong play. Nothing against Gord McKnight. Usually when a trainer is adding a catch driver, that's a big sign.
Yeah, it is for sure. And look at last time that happened, May the 4th, Western Fair. Gord McKnight was listed that night, and then Garrett Rooney took over the driving duties and won by over 5 lengths in a preferred 2 and 3 over that half-mile oval. And Sporty Tory's been racing, respectively in decent races at Mohawk Park, and has finished 4th in her last 2, but has been competitive against those groups, and now gets to a spot here and preferred at Grand River, where I think she should certainly do some damage. And Garrett Rooney only helps the situation. I thought she would take a lot more support than this, Gary. 9-2 on the board. That's a big price right now.
Now, the one I want to talk about next is the one that I'm surprised how much support she's taking. My top pick. I thought there wouldn't be any heavily favored horse here. Ford Tugging on Credit is 4-5.
Yeah, 4-5 odds on it. It's tough. I agree with you. I thought this race was kind of wide open, and the margin between these horses on the odds board should not be so vast, and it is right now. She's just been off form as of late. She's been a consistent type, previously, but lately just hasn't been at her best. And I don't know if this is the spot where she's going to wake up with a victory. And I don't even have her in the top 4. I took a stand against her, but I certainly didn't think she'd be bet down to 4-5.
Well, next one we'll take a look at. There is a look at number 2, Ladies from Hell. And Ladies from Hell is 14-1 on the board. A winner just 2 races ago. Has been off 24 days, though.
Yeah, the time off is the obvious concern, but she's got an inside post and she's got early speed. I think that she's one that's going to get spotted well off the switch, and I don't think she should be 14-1 in here. I really don't. Just off that recent form, albeit she is off a bit of time, she should be more than competitive against this group. So I thought she would be a top 3 player in here, and at 14-1, I'm happy to use her in the exotics.
Your second choice is number 5, Layla Blue at 13-1. I'd like you to be right, because I got the all here in that pick 4 that I chimed in on, and onto a single in race number 6. Layla Blue, Rob.
I think she's got a chance. I mean, last time, Mohawk Park, got away 8th and never really was able to make a step forward. You go 2 back. I remember that effort here as being one where I actually put her on the watch list. I thought she raced really well when she finished 4th on that occasion with Tyler Borth aboard, and now you get her back in a similar class here at the River, and she's 15-1. Post 5 is not ideal for her, but she won from post 7 on May 30th at London, albeit against an easier group. So I think she could be there with these, and 15-1 is a monster price on the board.
And then someone might ask us, why are we going to talk about Salisbury Jesse? Well, my second choice, one that you have on the ticket, despite the post position, it's Salisbury Jesse.
Yeah, 18-1 is a wild price as well. I mean, I think there's a lot of horses in here, a lot of options that you could take some value on. And if someone told me before the night that Salisbury Jesse would be just a shade lower than 20-1 in this race, I would say that is not possible. but she is 19-1 right now. Almost one that you have to bet to win, because if she drew inside on here, I think she'd be one of the favorites.
One that scares me, maybe coming late, is 7 My Wish List Is For You. Colin Kelly, Steve Boston, strong connections. This one was a big closer last time out at Woodbine to be missing by just a length in 53 and 2. We'll see. You get 20-1. Interesting field taking up their positions. Black Betty, Ladies from Hell, Sporty Tory on the inside. In the center, Tugging on Credit and Layla Blue to the outside. Wildcat Delight, My Wish List Is For You, and Salisbury Jassy. The second tier, Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen. Field of 9, race number 5. There at the start of the round, Ladies from Hell, Sporty Tory, and then Tugging on Credit and Layla Blue, and down to the inside, Black Betty. But right now, Ladies from Hell has come on and taken the lead, but Sporty Tory challenging in the center of the track, and Sporty Tory now is going to surge up and grab the front. Ladies from Hell is on the inside, and Tugging on Credit is still tugging on the outside. Black Betty's racing forward, then Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen, back to Layla Blue, Wildcat Delight, My Wish List Is For You, and Salisbury Jassy tugging on Credit now is able to tug right up and get the lead. A sharp opening quarter at 27 and 3. And Sporty Tory is riding the pocket. Ladies from Hell is third. And then fourth is Black Betty. Outlaw, I'm Hot Vixen and Layla Blue. Wildcat Delight, My Wish List Is For You, and Salisbury Jassy. It is tugging on Credit. 3-2 on the board now. Has the lead as they come up to the half. And Sporty Tory is now the 6-5 favorite in the pocket. And Ladies from Hell is racing third. Black Betty is fourth. Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen, racing fifth. And then it is back to Layla Blue and Wildcat Delight. And then further back on the inside, My Wish List For You. To the outside is Salisbury Jassy. Half was a sharp 56 and 4. And tugging on Credit. Sporty Tory's right there, bravening up in the pocket. Ladies from Hell is third. Those three have a bit of separation. Black Betty's racing fourth. Then Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen to the outside. Then Layla Blue and Wildcat Delight. Salisbury Jassy and My Wish List Is For You. Tugging on Credit. 3/4 125 and 3. And Sporty Tory's been loving it in the pocket. And now is going to move on the outside. Here comes Sporty Tory looking very sporty alongside Tugging on Credit. Ladies from Hell is third. And then racing for this Layla Blue and Sporty Tory as they come on down the stretch drive. And it is all Sporty Tory now. Tugging on Credit is going to finish second. Ladies from Hell third. Then Outlaw, I'm a Hot Vixen, and Layla Blue, Sporty Tory went off at 6-5. Came down to being the betting favorite in Sporty Tory. Rob, you were right. Garrett Rooney taking over and really did look sharp. Got a nice trip, and Garrett knew what to do with it.
Yeah, it was a perfect drive by Garrett Rooney. Get to the front, release the favorite, sit a trip, and he knew he had a lot of horsepower, so he was able to pull early and just power away to an easy victory. Very reminiscent of that effort at Western Fair. And it's funny, we looked at this race, said, "Oh, it's wide open. Let's take an all," and the favorites run 1-2.
Yeah, now I was surprised also that they were able to get away on the rest of the field a little bit. So it really did kind of come down to those two. And Ladies from Hell, one that you liked as your third best one, was third best in this. And then Outlaw, I'm Hot Vixen.
Yeah, I thought that Ladies from Hell, was a big overlay on the board, and I'd love to see her get into that second spot for the exotics here, because if you 23-1, that's a monster number on her, and she raced well. I mean, she sat a 3-hole trip and was coming forward at the wire, and got within a length of Tugging on Credit for the place spot, but. Yeah, I think Sporty Tory, in the end, much the best, and the key to the race was really that that driver change.
And you can look at for Tugging on Credit actually did come back and race great well. Was off of a couple of poor ones, but did show up much more like Tugging on Credit had been in the past.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, she raced much better. I mean, I thought, she might actually kind of give way once Sporty Tory went by her. Sometimes when a horse gets by one, they kind of give up, but she didn't. She battled on for the second spot, and I think that it's definitely a step in the right direction for her.
Well, definitely a very big step for Sporty Tory. And Sporty Tory comes back in front of us, a 6-year-old sports rider bay mare, owned by M&S Racing Stable, trained by Gord McKnight. Garrett Rooney, the winning drive. It's the fourth win for Sporty Tory, 25th lifetime, 154 and 2. The fifth race payouts: 3 Sporty Tory, 470, 280, and 270. 4 Token on Credit, 310, 310. 2 Ladies from Hell, 450. Dollar pick 5 is 5 of 5, $157. $2 exact or $13.70 try. $39.50 super, $297.30. The fifth race order finish from the top is a 9-3-1-2-5-7-8-6-4. That's 9-3-1-2-5-7-8-6-4. Field for the 6th on parade. One flash to the finish. Travis Henry for Bill Cass and John Craig. Number 2 is Holly's Treasure, Anthony Hahn for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 3 is Joe King and Scott Ray for Marissa Miller and Ezra Miller. 4 is Party in the Shadows, Colin Kelly for Kyle Boston and Brad Gray. And number 5 is Don't Write Me Out, Jason Ryan for Elaine Reed. Number 6, Global Crush, Tyler Borth for Alan Shelton. Number 7, Gold Train, Brett McDonald for Ron McDonald and Edward Gork. And number 8 is Yannick Sealster, Scott Culver, Ted McDonnell, and Leonard Gamble. And 9 is At the Beach, Hanover Talbot for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. Field of 9, race number 6, Super High 5 with almost $3,000 added into the pool. Let's start with a look at the most logical one for Party in the Shadows. And you remember last time out, we had a disagreement. You liked Century Invictus and liked Party in the Shadows. We were both wrong with Sobbled Attack, but nonetheless, that was a great race, and Party in the Shadows gave me all I wanted.
Yeah, it really was, and he's turned in a couple of real nice efforts since returning to the races. First over in both those and finished third. And I love the fact that he's scoring down with a little bit of authority anyways for Colin Kelly tonight, because I'm hoping that's the plan, is to try to get to the front end and not end up with a taxing trip again like he's had in his last two. But for me, he's a clear choice on top, and I'll have him singled in my Super High 5 wagers. And right now, more than $4,800 already new money in the pool, Gary.
And number 4, Party in the Shadows, I think this time is going to make it to the lead, because I think it's time to say, to heck with coming first up. Let's get to the front, and I don't see speed to hold them off this time. And Holly's Treasure is the one we both like second in here. Really game efforts, but I don't see Holly's Treasure beating Party in the Shadows, but I definitely see him being a big story here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this one's going to be really hard pressed to get the job done. Over Party in the Shadows. I think that this one's a real gritty type that goes out there and gives a solid performance every single time he steps on the track and gets to work from an inside post position. So for me, he is, second or third in the betting, but he is one that I think you have to, use as a main player underneath in that Super High 5.
Your third choice is one that I left off the ticket, but I understand why you would use this one. The last two races, not all that impressive, but just before that, you see some you see wins against some good company.
Yeah, this horse at the Beach Hanover, the 9, 25-1 is a monster price on this one. So trailing post, which I don't mind for this one. He's not one that's loaded with speed off the gate, but he's one that can certainly work his way into a favorable position. And Ashley Lenvoy has had a lot of success with this horse. You see the victories that are right there in the program for you. Last time, overland for much of the mile before finishing 7th, but maybe hide it along the pylons this time and get a big piece of it. 22-1, in my opinion, is a big overlay and one that can spice up the exotics.
Well, if you like the 9 in there, that's probably because you like the 1 to provide some gate speed, and you do see it on the program back at Flamborough, although against lesser than here.
Yeah, I think that Flash to the Finish is in a tougher spot tonight, but you look at the posts, right? You see post 6, and you see a couple 4s in there, but a big difference now drawing the pole position with speed. I think this one's got to get spotted well off the gate. I think, again, another one that gets a favorable trip can be a part of it. A smaller share, in my opinion, but one that you can't leave off the ticket.
I wanted to quickly, just as a last thought, get to 7 Gold Train. For some reason, I'm scared of Gold Train in here. He's getting a lot of money at 4-1. This one only raced here once last year, but was a mile in a maiden class in 55, a really strong effort from the trailer post. So just wanted to throw in that I have Gold Train third on my ticket. I wouldn't be surprised if Gold Train races better than what you might think. Taking up their positions, Flash to the Finish, Holly's Treasure, Joe King on the inside, Party in the Shadows, Don't Write Me Out. Global Crush, Gold Train, Yannick Sealster on the outside, and At the Beach Hanover from the second tier. It's a field of 9. It is race number 6. Here they come. They're at the start of the round, and Holly's Treasure is going to leave out with Flash to the finish. Joe King, Party in the Shadows, but right now Flash to the finish and Holly's Treasure duel for the lead. Flash to the finish, though, is showing that early flash, and Holly's Treasure second, Joe King third. Party in the Shadows is relaxed away fourth. Then racing fifth is At the Beach, however. Then it is back to Global Crush and Yannick Seelster. Don't Write Me Out and Gold Train is trailing the field as they race their way on past the opening quarter. Sharp opening panel, 27-4. Flash to the finish at 8-1, showing some early flash. Holly's Treasure second, Joe King third. Party in the Shadows is going to race first over. At the Beach, Hanover spotted second over fifth, and then it is back to Global Crush as they race on towards us. Then Yannick Seelster and Don't Write Me Out, and Gold Train is trailing, and they race their way on up and past the half in 57 seconds, and they work their way on into the backstretch off a 57-second half, and a 29 second panel breather for Flash to the finish, but Party in the Shadows on the outside has moved right up now and is only a half length off the lead and is coming quickly. Holly's Treasure is third, and then At the Beach, Hanover's on the outside fourth, and then it is Joe King and Global Crush, and then we've got Yannick Seelster, Don't Write Me Out, and Gold Train is at the caboose as they race on by 3/4, 126 flat. And Flash to the finish, trying to fend off Party in the Shadows. Those two are going at it, and it is Party in the Shadows who's now come on to get a lead of a half a length. Flash to the finish on the inside. Holly's Treasure is third, and then it is Joe King on the inside. Holly's Treasure and Global Crush on down the stretch drive they come. Party in the Shadows. Party in the Shadows can party on with a win. And then Holly's Treasure, Joe King, Flash to the finish, and Global Crush 155-4. Party in the Shadows first up again, but this time just kept on going.
Yeah, poor Party in the Shadows. I mean, another first over trip. You can see it off the gate when they all left out hard on the inside of him. He was going to end up in the same spot again. That's where he was. And you know, Flash to the finish, you know, not a bad horse to go first over against. He's one that's a little bit camera shy and getting a little bit leg weary late, so that certainly helped the matter. It was a gritty effort from Party in the Shadows, and Holly's Treasure, you know, found room late and was, you know, trying to challenge to the wire. But, you know, Party in the Shadows, after two rock solid efforts and his first two starts back, finally gets back in the win column.
Yeah, and he just looked so game those first two. I don't see how we could have gone against this one. Holly's Treasure, we had that one for second, both of us, and that's exactly how it finished. Holly's Treasure's really a hard-working horse.
Yeah, he really is. He's one of my favorite horses on the racetrack because you can never really rule him out. I mean, you know, now he's hit the board in 11 of 19 on the season, and it's his seventh runner-up finish. I mean, he's a horse that can do it the hard way or sit a trip and race well. So I'm a big fan of Holly's Treasure.
It comes up 4-2-3-1-6. Number 3, Joe King, is one that I did not, I used for fourth, and you had on your ticket. But Joe King is one at least raced pretty well. I didn't see this one getting 21-1, though. I thought it'd be bet a little lower.
I thought for sure of the last effort. And I agree, it was against easier, but came from way out of it, and I thought it was a real nice back half in that race. So, yeah, Joe King might help the value of the ticket a little bit.
Back in front of us, number 4, Party in the Shadows, a 4-year-old shadow play, Brown Gelding, owned by Brad Gray, trained by Kyle Bossons. Colin Kelly, the winning drive. It's the first win this year, 9th lifetime for Party in the Shadows, 155-4. The 6th race pounds for Party in the Shadows, $3.40, $2.30, $2.20 to Holly's Treasure, $3.60 and $3. And Joe King, 680. $2 exactor is 610. Dollar try, 1720. Dollar high five is 409.90. And the dollar pick four, 94.85. The sixth race order finish from the top, 423-185-976. That's 423-185-976.
Gutsy effort from Party in the Shadows in race number 6 to convert as the favorite. I've seen quite a few favorites win on tonight's card. Let's see if that continues on into the final multi-leg sequence of the night, the late pick four, races 7 through 10. We're going to take a look at the ticket that I've mapped out. Maybe Gary will chime in with what he likes as well. So let's take a look at what I've got here. And I'm going to go with 3 horses here in the opener. It's a to me a difficult trot race where I think you want to have a bit of coverage, but I didn't want to spend too much money. So I just went with the 3, 4, and 8. May Duford, Les La Bramontoise. I think Gary will correct me on that one, I'm sure. And the 8's self-important. 3 deep here. May Duford 70-1 right now. That's the worst I'd bet to win. Just as a flyer, why not at that price if that ever holds up? But 3 deep here in race 7. And then in race 8, 2 deep with the 2 and 5. That's Graham's Lily and No Time. I think Graham's Lily is the one to beat in there, but I'm intrigued by the first time off the claim for Lenelon Jr., the 5 No Time. So we're going to use that one as well. And then in race 9, singling the 1 PL Orchid off the claim for Jason Sherman. This horse has been really steady at that level and now gets the rail to work from. I think will be tough to beat in there. And then the final race, race 10 of the night, I think is another one where you want to spread out and have multiple horses. It's a trotting event. There's horses that like to misbehave in there, and I wouldn't want to be married to just 1 or 2 horses. So I'm going to use the 1 Mr. Walker, the 3 Heineken Sealster, 5 Horse Trader, the 6 Mac Justice, and the 9 Peter Crown. That ticket will cost you $6.20, but let's hear what Gary's got for us.
Well, I wasn't going to chime in, but I was going to leave well enough alone. I got the other pick 4, but why not go for both of them, even though the pick 4 didn't pay anything? We fanned out in the 5th race and was hoping to get a price, and instead we got the favorites. So we'll take another shot, but here's how I'm going to play this one. I'm going to go all in the 7th race because it's maiden trotters and because the best horse has post 8. Just taking a flyer, trying to get it to pay. Race number 8, then I got a single, so I'm going to single with No Time and Jason Ryan. In the 9th race, I'm going to single again with PL Orchid. And in the 10th race, well, give me 2 horses. I have Horse Trader, but I'm going to also include Mac Justice. Horse Trader and Mac Justice in the 10th race. So you get the all in that first race, 9 and 2. So 18 combinations. I'll let you do the math because you're the math expert.
Very, very frugal ticket, just $3.60 for a 20-cent ticket for Gary there, and I like those numbers. And taking it all here, not a bad idea. Maiden trotters, anything can happen, but they're moving out onto the track for race number 7. We'll be back in just a moment or two to talk more about this dash.
Field 4, race number 7 is on parade. 1, Build to Last. Paul McKenzie drives and trains and owns. Number 2 is Messiah. Colin Kelly for Christina Anderson and Ken Weiss. Number 3 is May Duford. It's Tyler Borth for Ashley Duford and Dennis Duford. Number 4, Le Bramontois. Sylvain Lecaille for Kelly Duval-Lecaille and Jerome Lombard.
Nice.
5 is Wheelin' and Rockin'. Wayne Henry for John Newell. Number 6, Woodshed. Anthony Hunt for Dave Holiday and Graham Jackson. Number 7, Downstairs Party. Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. And number 8 is Self-Important. Bruce Richardson for Morley Bosworth. And 9 is All Brawn. Jason Ryan for Matt Dupuis and Dr. Ruth Irving. It's a field of 9, race 7, the K's Kiss Trot, and we'll see which one we like the most in here. We're going to start with Rob's top pick here, number 8, Self-Important. I think if this one had an even post position relative to the rest of the field, give it a 3 or a 4, would be the favorite. But instead, it's sitting at 7-2.
Yeah, I think self-important would be a heavy favorite with a decent post position. I mean, 2 victories already to his credit. No one else in here has done that. And post 8, we know it's an impossible spot here at the river, but I still had to go with this one. I think that if he could ever just get she can get forwardly placed off the gate. I think she's clearly the one to beat in here. Last time, bit of an underwhelming performance though. Against Ackles Hanover, got away third and kind of faded in that one, but was also trying to chase one that was, tons the best and would be 1-9 on here. So I'm happy to have self-important on top, but I do agree with you. This is a wide open affair.
Number 4, La Brumontois, is one that finished a runner-up in each of the last couple. You could see that happening again here, but at least gets the better post than your top one.
Yeah, and ran into an odds-on favorite in each of those efforts, right? Ackles Hanover then kicking your mass last time, and one that likes to get forwardly placed off the gate, sat the 2 hole in each of her last 2, and I think something similar could happen tonight. 5-2 on the board. I mean, it's one of those things where it's been a bigger price in each of her last 2. Maybe you don't want to take too short of a number. I certainly wouldn't take anything less than 5-2.
Another one to take a look at is number 3, May Duford. Now, you've used this one as your third choice, sitting at 50-1. Giddy up, I'd love that to start off my win for.
Yeah, you got the all button, so why not? And May Duford is, you got Tyler Borth back in the bike, and it got beat by a wide margin, but finished third. 3 starts back, has since now, qualified between her last effort. But I just looked at it and said, you know what, Tyler jumps back aboard now. We might see better things from her, and I would definitely not leave her off the exotics, that's for sure. And I think that 50-1 is a giant overlay right now on the 3 May Duford.
Number 1, Built to Last. You get the inside post position. Paul McKenzie driving and training this one. The trailer post didn't work out all that well last time out, but now the inside. Maybe Built to Last could be one that steps up with a big time outing here. 9-1.
Yeah, let's get on the track right now too. I think that he's one that might be able to push out of there for position off the gates and just finish somewhere on the ticket, maybe the bottom end of the super, the try. Again, pole position to work from instead of that trailing post. Yeah, the effort last time wasn't the greatest, but nose on the gate, we'll see probably a better performance, and the price at 9-1 is not bad at all.
So listen, if I'm going to get another one besides maybe the 3 May Duford at 35-1, where else could I look for a horse at a bit of a price that would get me going in my win for?
That's a good question. I would probably look towards the 7 maybe, downstairs party, 15-1 right now. This was the first time starter, and even the 9 all brawn at 10-1. I look for horses in a race like this that haven't done anything to prove that they're not going to be a winner yet. You know what I mean? So I don't mind when there's horses that have had a hard time getting to the win column, taking ones that hasn't proven that they can't yet. So those are the 2 I would look at.
One that's not at a price, but 5-1. 5 Wheelin' and Rockin'. Wayne Henry is one that he's a pretty accomplished trot man, and this is one that raced reasonably well at Hanover last time out, put on the trotting hobbles, and just might have something to say about things here, Rob. It is a field of 9 for race number 7. It's the K's Kiss the Trot. It'll be Built to Last, and Messiah, May Duford on the inside. In the center, La Brumontois and Wheelin' and Rockin'. To the outside, Woodshed, Downstairs Party, and Self-Important. And the second tier, All Brawn. It's a field of 9. Race number 7. They're into the stretch drive, and here they come. And there they go. La Brumontois, May Duford is out well, and Wheelin' and Rockin', Built to Last in Messiah, but as they race on into the backstretch, right now it is La Brumontois leading. May Duford is second, Wheelin' and Rockin' third, Built to Last is fourth, and Messiah made a break in stride. Self-Important is racing fifth, and then Woodshed is sixth, and seventh is All Brawn, and then Downstairs Party, La Brumontois at 3-1 has got the lead, but at 50-1, May Duford is sitting in the pocket. Wheeling and rocking is wheeling from third, 30-3 the opening quarter. Built to last and self-important is racing fifth, and then it is Woodshed and All Brawn. Downstairs Party and Messiah is trailing the field, and now Built to Last is quickly popping out against La Bromontois. La Bromontois got the lead, and Built to Last is coming on the outside as they race their way on up towards us, and then racing third still is May Duford, and now Self-Important is starting to roll and is up to fourth, and then Wheeling and Rockin' and Woodshed back to All Brawn. Downstairs Party Messiah trails the field. Halftime of 102-1. And into the backstretch they go, and making a break in stride as they race their way onto the backstretch is Self-Important. It is right now La Bromontois, and Built to Last is trying to call her La Bromontois. May Duford is still in the hunt third, but is maybe flattening out a little bit, and Wheeling and Rockin' to the outside. Woodshed is racing fifth, and on All Brawn. La Bromontois and Built to Last are going at it, but La Bromontois continues on. 3/4, 132-1. La Bromontois leads it right now by about a length and 3/4. Built to Last is second. Wheeling and Rockin' has wheeled into the front three and rolls on the outside, and then May Duford is still in the front four, and then All Brawn on down the stretch route they come. La Bromontois, Built to Last is chasing, but La Bromontois is going to win it and take it by about 2 lengths on the outside. Wheeling and Rockin'. Then Built to Last in fourth is between Messiah and All Brawn. 202-3, La Bromontois.
Nice effort from that filly, no question about it. Went to the front this time, sat a 2-hole trip in each of her last two, goes to the front this time around and gets the job done. I thought Self-Important was making a pretty big move, though, when she made that break in stride. I think that you got to put a big circle around her for next time. Post 8 this time around, it kind of got used to get to the spot she was in, but she was moving with authority when she made that break in stride. So I think she's one you have to come back to next time, especially with a better post position.
And number 5, Wheeling and Rockin' is one that we mentioned late. You see the X's on the dance card, but then that last race at Hanover with the trotting hobbles on, and then racing again with trotting hobbles today. Much more sound effort again, so 2 in a row, staying flat and finishing second.
Yeah, exactly. I think one that you want to keep an eye on. I mean, it's so important. The first order of business sometimes with these younger trotters and maiden types are to keep them flat, right? Keep them trotting. So once they do have one of those under their belts, gives them a little more room to handle them more aggressively next time.
Well, we get a 4-5-1-9. La Bromontois at 3-1 as the money was in on 8 Self-Important, and understandably so. So it looks like a decent ticket of trotters to kick off the win for La Bromontois and Sylvain Lacaille. Coming back in front of us, the 7th race winner, number 4, La Bromontois, a 3-year-old Angus Hall brown filly, owned by Jerome Lombard. The trainer is Kelly Duval Lacaille, and Sylvain Lacaille is the winning driver. First win for La Bromontois, 202-3. The seventh race payouts, number 4, La Promontoire. 850, 380, and 280. 5 wheeling and rocking, 520 and 390. And 1 built to last, 460. $2 exactor, $32.60 try, $78.95 super, $721.85. The seventh race order of finish from the top: 356-128-794. That's 356-128-794. Field 4, race number 8 is on parade. 1 is Watch Us Party. It's Brett McDonough for Jared Bothwell and a numbered company from Greeley. Number 2, Graham's Lily. It's Tyler Moore for Richard Griffiths and John Davidson. And 3 is Clothes Optional. Garrett Rooney for Sean Hyatt and Kyle Stretch. Number 4 is Einhorn is Finkel. Scott Culver, Duncan Brewer, and Randall Urquhart. And 5 is No Time. Jason Ryan for Len Lalonde Jr., Christina Lalonde, and Alan Culver. And number 6 is Sailor's Delight. Andre Goy for Ruth Moore and James Hasty. Field of 6, race number 8. Fillies and Mares on the pace. And Rob, I have the favorite, but I'm a little worried that I think you might be right with 2 grams of Lily. My worry is that you might get the front and then be able to get things backed off, shut down, and a soft half.
Yeah, that was the reason why I really thought Graham's Lily should have the edge in here, just because of that early speed factor. And if you go back 2 efforts ago at this level, went to the front, kept on going, held on by a head. Last time, took on open non-winners of 15,000 Life Company, finished second, so decent effort. I think that, to me, they were kind of interchangeable in here. And at the bigger price, I'm happy to be on Graham's Lily at 5-2 right now.
Well, and the trip scenario, I think it just fits very well. And also a field of 6, I'm not sure who would provide the early speed. Number 5, No Time. The interesting angle is first-time start for Len Lalonde Jr. off the claim. And this is one that does show a racing 56-2 at Flamborough, May the 26th, finishing second to Sobel Amber. So that's a good, solid time in comparison to this field. But I'm not sure how you see the trip.
Yeah, it comes down to what the trip's going to be, and I think that No Time is one that has shown speed in the past, and I think she's going to have to demonstrate it again today to have a good chance in here. Like the off the claim angle for Len Lalonde Jr., and I think this one looks sharp on the track. The odds board's tightening up right now. Like I said, it was kind of like a toss-up for me who I was going to go with on top. I went with Graham's Lily, and I'm hoping that one stays the bigger price.
Yeah, maybe Jason Ryan Guns. You see this one wiring a field from post 7 at Flamborough. That was a maiden class, and that was only 203 and 1. So we'll see how it unfolds. Others in here. Number 3, Clothes Optional, is one that at least brings in good form and does show getting off the gate well enough. So Clothes Optional might be one that sits kind of covered up early in the mile, and then it comes streaking late.
I'm a little bit surprised this one's at 8-1 right now, because I agree with you. I think that Close Optional is one that can sit a trip and get a good piece of it anyways. Third in each of her last 2, won 2 in a row before that, and has won 3 of her last 6 overall. So I think Close Optional can make her presence felt in here. Probably more of a player in the bottom end of the exotics, but 7-1 seems like a pretty decent number.
Number 6, A Sailor's Delight, is 6-1 on the board, and the winner sailed away from this mare last time out. But if you used this one on the bottom of an exactor ticket with the very impressive Dad's Princess, then that was a delightful ticket, because this mare was almost 18-1 last time out, now 6-1.
As she was, and she left out well to secure that 2-hole. Granted, it was a loose pocket later on in the mile, but still, it was a decent enough effort and good enough that maybe she takes a step forward off it. She's 0 for 9 in the last 2 seasons, but has hit the board 4 times. So 10-1 on the board, might be able to sneak her way into the Shire of the Super.
A horse that I used on the bottom of the ticket, but I'm just not sure. Einhorn's Finkel a couple times last year showed up with big efforts, but then you just don't see a whole lot going on with Einhorn's Finkel at all of late.
Yeah, if you could look to her form last year and say that might show up tonight, first time in the claiming ranks, I think you could say she's got a big chance in here. I mean, even still, we saw it work earlier tonight. A horse first time in for the tag, went out and crushed. So maybe we see something similar for Einhorn is Finkel, but I do think she's up against it with the 2 favorites.
Sitting at 5-1, but right now you have Graham's Lily at 5-2, and Well, I'm on the favorite, No Time. Now did ride up to even money on the board. It's a field of six taking up their positions. Watch as Party grabs Lily on the inside. In the center, Clothes optional, and Einhorn is Finkel the outside. No Time and A Sailor's Delight. It's a field of 6 for race number 8, and Graham's Lily makes an early break in stride. Einhorn is Finkel, Clothes optional, and then also leaving out is No Time. Right now, as the field works their way around that first turn, Einhorn is Finkel, No Time's racing second. It is now going to find the pocket on the back of Einhorn is Finkel. Clothes optional is racing third. Then A Sailor's Delight and Watches Party, and Graham's Lily, an early break, is out of it. But right now it is Einhorn is Finkel at 6-1. Who has the lead, but No Time. The 1-2 favorite is Marking Time in the pocket. Close optional is third. 29-3 is the opening quarter. Then Sailor's Delight is sailing on the inside, fourth in front of Watches Party. And Graham's Lily is sixth with a lot of work to do. It is Einhorn is Finkel and Scotty Coulter with the front. No Time, Jason Ryan in the pocket. Clothes optional. Travels on the inside, racing third. Then Sailor's Delight, Watches Party, and Graham's Lily is sixth. They're all in a line. Einhorn is Finkel on past the half and a halftime breather. It's a 1-1-4 halftime and a 32-1 second panel as they work their way on into the backstretch. Einhorn is Finkel. No Time is racing second. Clothes optional is racing third. No Time is getting some urging right now to come up and close the gap, but is still going to stay on the inside. And Closed optional now is on the outside. Clothes optional is coming on the outside and has taken over second. No Time's racing third. A Sailor's Delight is fourth, and then Watches Party and Graham's Lily. Einhorn is Finkel. Leads it by 3. No Time is second, but with a lot of work to do. A 32nd third panel, but Einhorn is Finkel off that easy half of 1-1-4. Has a comfortable lead of about 2.5. No Time is second. A Sailor's Delight is third, and Close optional is fourth. On down the stretch ride, Einhorn is Finkel is going to win it to a closing No Time. A Sailor's Delight is third, and then fourth is Graham's Lily, 2 minutes and 3/5. It is Einhorn is Finkel and Scotty Coulter. The race changed early with the break of Graham's Lily, and then Scotty Coulter got the nice half and kept on trucking.
Yeah, right off the gate, Graham's Lily jumps it off, and that's the main speed of the race out of it. And Einhorn is Finkel, one that we talked about right before the word go there, Gary. And it's interesting because earlier tonight we saw one win like this when they were in a claimer for the first time, and now we see it with Einhorn is Finkel here. Really never in doubt. After this one got to the lead and won by a comfortable margin. I know that No Time was closing on the end of it, but never in danger of getting there. So nice price on this one, and just one that I missed.
Yeah, and well, hard to find on the page, really, considering the recent form. And one of the telling signs, I really felt good coming to the half, even with the fractions, but then going down the backside, No Time was getting some urging, and when Jason stayed to the inside, you thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you thought maybe she'd tighten up and kind of try to braven up behind that one for the stretch drive, but when the margin kind of got greater on the turn, you know that you're in big trouble. Even if she does kick in late, it's just too much to make up in the shorter stretch here at the river. So, No Time. I think it's an effort though. You can look at and say, okay, I think she can build off that one. No Time might come back stronger next time. So, disappoints the 1-2 favorite today, but might get a bigger number next time and might find the winner's circle.
A 4-5-6-2 with number 4 Einhorn is Finkel at 6-1, and Scotty Coulter taking the 8th race. Coming back in front of us is the winner of the 8th race, number 4, Einhorn is Finkel, a 3-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay filly owned by Duncan Brewer and Randall Urquhart. Duncan Brewer is the trainer, Scotty Coulter the winning driver. It's the first win this year, third lifetime. And out trackside, we have Casey and Gracie K. They were married today. There is also Jamie Martin out trackside, our track general manager. Let's get a look at Casey and Gracie. Married today. Hopefully, nothing but wedded bliss in your future. Love the bow tie. The eighth race payouts for Einhorn Finkel, $14.80, $4 and $3. 5 no time, 310 to 86 is Sailor's Delight, $6.40. $2 exactor, $37. Dollar try, $73.05. Dollar super, $274.60. Eighth race order of finish from the top, 6-4-5-1-2-3. That's 6-4-5-1-2-3. Field for the 9th race on parade. 1, Peel Orchid, Tyler Porth for Jason Sherman and Chris Kane and Bert Sherman. Number 2, Little Mary, Paul McKenzie, Mike Salas and Lake Stable. 3, She's Got the Luck, Scott Ray for Sean Hyatt and Kyle Stretch. And 4 is CU Princess, Bo Brown drives and trains and owns. 5 is Ezra Express, Ryan DeRoche for Jeremy Brewer and Jack Racing. Number 6, Farmer Who's My Daddy. It is Garrett Rooney for Robert Doyle and Mark and Vicky Nelson. And number 7 is Sharia Moore, Brett McDonough for Ron McDonald and Len Rosine. It's a field of 7. It's the 9th dash starts, the late daily double. And Rob, we're on the same one, Peel Orchid. We watched that last race and we saw Peel Orchid come flying late, trying to get by Farmer Who's My Daddy. And now we get the inside post against Farmer Who's My Daddy from post 6. So we've gone the same way.
Yeah, I think so. And right now, I love the score down by Tyler Borth right now. Scoring down with intent. She looks good on the track, and I thought that, she's been racing so consistent overall. Now she's been claimed. Now she goes to the barn of Jason Sherman. She's right back in the same class, though. Was kind of a much bigger price a moment ago, and now down to 5-2 favoritism, and I think that she deserves it. I mean, again, railed to work from this time and has been in great form, so I don't really see anyone emerging in here that can beat her and do so handily. So 2-1 now, Gary. The price is going to probably continue to drop right till post time.
You used number 3, She's Got the Luck, second on your ticket, and I used that one for 4th. That last race I wasn't impressed, but if you look at the 3 previous starts on the half-mile track, they were all good. They were all top 3s.
I just threw that one out because he post 7 last time, got away 7th, couldn't really move forward, and you get a barn change now, off the claim to Sean Hyatt, and I think that She's Got the Luck with post 3 is going to move forward off the gate, or at least try to, and a little bit surprised was not taking more support. 6-1 seems like a pretty big number on one that should be more than competitive against this group, and I think with the right trip can be right there at the wire. So I'm kind of squarely on 1-3 in here.
Number 7, Sharia Moore. We both use this one for 3rd. It's one that's got good recent form, but now has to work from the outside, but yet does have 5 wins on the year in 20 tries.
Yeah, Sharia Moore, I think, is one that in the condition claiming ranks, you've got to always consider her. The problem is post 7. I just wonder how she'd get into the race here. If she blasts out, she probably gets used too hard in the early stages, and if she takes back off the gate, her ceiling's probably 3rd or 4th at that point. So last time was in the 2-hole, pulled early, only got beat half length of the wire. If she stayed where she was, maybe she wins at the passing lane, who knows. But I do think she's one that can hit the ticket on here.
Number 6, Farmer Who's My Daddy, I thought might be a little lower because won in this class last time out, 15 out of 22 in the top 2 on the year. You get Garrett Rooney driving. Farmer Who's My Daddy, what kind of a price would you need to say, you know what, okay, yeah, I like Peel Orchid, but I could take this one at that particular price?
We're probably at that number right now. I mean, 7-1's the same price she was last time. She won. She should be a lower price this time around. I mean, she slides out 2 spots on the gate, but she is one that does have a ton of early speed, and I think that even if Sharia Moore tries to leave, this one's going to be leaving inside of her, which will, kind of stymie that one. So I think Farmer Who's My Daddy is one you have to have at minimum underneath, and at the price of it, I would agree with you. I thought she was going to take support down to like maybe 3-1, and that's why I kind of strayed away from her. But 7-1, she's usable.
Well, with 1 Peel Orchid at 4-5, I was just wondering where else we could stray. A horse that sometimes messes me up is 4 CU Princess. This horse every once in a while comes up, races large, then kind of goes on holidays for a while, and did race well here 2 races ago. Did a lot of work on the lead, but the last race, nothing at all.
Yeah, she's one that is kind of interesting because I think that if you look at her last effort, you can't use her at all. But if you go further down the page, she has performances that would put her right there with this group. 11-1 on the board. I'm just not sure what the trip looks like tonight, so I would rather sit and watch.
Well, we do have the field for the 9th taking up position, and both Rob and I are on the 4-5 PL Orchid. We'll see if PL Orchid can live up to that billing. PL Orchid, Little Mary on the inside. She's Got the Luck, CU Princess, and Ezra Express in the center. On the outside, Farmer Who's My Daddy and Sharia Moore. Field of 7, ninth dash on a Friday night. The horses are gathered at the river. Here they come. Field 4, the ninth race. Mia's at the start of the rough, and she's got the luck. And See You Princess and Farmer Who's My Daddy is out there plowing 3 wide as they work their way into the backstretch. And then Ezra Express and PL Orchid. And then it is back to Little Mary and Sharia Moore. And now See You Princess is going to be seen on the lead. She's got the luck is second. Ezra Express now finds a seat on the inside third. PL Orchid is in mid-pack fourth. Then Farmer Who's My Daddy and Little Mary. And Sharia Moore is trailing the field. But See You Princess at 15-1. And Bo Brown is just coasting along on the lead. She's got the luck, is racing second, about 2 1/4 off the lead. And the Avalanche have scored to tie the game. And racing third as they work their way off the turn right now is Ezra Express. And then as they now race up towards the half of that 27-1 opening quarter, PL Orchid is fourth. And then it is Farmer Who's My Daddy and Little Mary and Sharia Moore. And they work on past the half, 57-2, a 30-1. Second panel breather for See You Princess. She's got the luck, has been getting a good ride. Ezra Express is racing third, and PL Orchid pops to the outside, but has work to do and is hoping to get some cover. And now out from second goes She's Got the Luck, and quickly surging alongside, she's got and besides See You Princess, and She's Got the Luck is taken over. And then Ezra Express is racing second. PL Orchid is third, but still about 4.5 or 5 to come. 3/4 of 127. Then Sharia Moore. See You Princess is backed away. Then Little Mary and Farmer Who's My Daddy. She's Got the Luck. She's Got the Luck, and Ezra Express as they come on down the stretch drive. She's Got the Luck, and Scott Ray as they come on to the finish. It is She's Got the Luck. Was lucky enough to get a very nice trip and then knew what to do with it. Ezra Express was second, PL Orchid finishing third, and then Sharia Moore 156-2. She's Got the Luck. You used that one for second, but got a very fine trip and was able to win, Rob.
Yeah, She's Got the Luck. There's 2 in here that I liked ahead of the rest, and I thought PL Orchid would come up with a better effort than that, and she still got a piece of it, but She's Got the Luck went off at a real nice price in here, I think, Gary, and it's one of those ones where afterwards you say, if you could kind of see the odds board come race time, you'd lean the other direction, because I did not think the discrepancy would be 2-5 and 8-1.
Well, of course, yeah, knowing you at 2-5, you would not have been on PL Orchid, then you would have been on She's Got the Luck, and you would have been cashing at 8-1. And She's Got the Luck was able to leave well enough because, yeah, you got lucky, but you also were good because you had to leave well enough to get that trip.
Yeah, exactly. At the river, it's so important to have that tactical speed, right? It's just one of those things that you need to have it really from any post here, and this one certainly has exactly that, and real nice victory off the claim for trainer Sean Hyatt.
It is a 3-5-1-7, and by the way, did you know that the game is tied?
Listen, I got to say, that is incredible to me that you're that talented, that you're able to multitask, call a race, and at the same time give us a score update.
It's not about the talent, it's just the split interest. Like, I got to watch these things because I got interests, you know? Well, coming back in front of us, those who bet number 3, She's Got the Luck, are quite interested now. She's Got the Luck, a 5-year-old shadow play brown mare owned by Kyle Stretch, trained by Sean Hyatt. Scott Ray, the winning driver. It's the 3rd win this year for She's Got the Luck and the 6th lifetime. Mile of 156-2. ninth race of payouts 3. She's got the luck. 1950, 830, and 270. 5. Ezra Express, 1040 and 430, and 1. PL Orchid, $230, $2 exactor, 145.20. Dollar try, 154.95. Dollar super, 529.75. Ninth race order finish from the top, 3617254. That's 3617254. Field for race number 10 on the parade. 1 is Mr. Walker, Gerard Demers for Triple S Equine. Number 2, Sheena Soldier, Paul McKenzie for Tim Cherwaco and Gary Green. And 3 is Heineken Sister, Bruce Richardson for Don Lindsay and Glenn Lindsay. 4 is Surprise, Mark Goddard for Howard Kaufman and Bryn Mawr and Joshua Kaufman. And number 6 is Mac Justice, Jay Harris for Boyd Wilson and Owen Wilson. 7 is scratched. 8 is Veyron, Brent McDonough for Paul Cameron and TJ Stable. There is 9, Peter Crown, Scott Calder for Steve Watson. And note that 5 is Horse Trader, J.B. Renault for Julie Walker and Oakley Farm. Let's get a look at this field. And by the way, Rob, it's 2-1 for Tampa Bay late in the second period. We'll keep that updated. And let's get a look at this field. And there is, by the way, a look at 5 Horse Trader. Your top one is number 6, Mac Justice. And Mac Justice is one that, well, I could definitely see why you would play Mac Justice. Fits well with this group. But then you see a break 2 starts ago in that last race. Just, well, getting a flat line at Mohawk at least comes in now with that one under his belt.
Yeah, let's go to the track right now, Gary. And you know what, the thing about Mac Justice, well, a second ago he was like 7-1. Now he's 8-5. But last time, you know, I thought the effort was decent enough. A second leg of the pop-up series. Cool Clifford was an easy winner in there. And it's interesting because he's the type of horse that looks like just doesn't really drop that speed when he gets to the bigger surface, right? He went the same kind of a mile, 56-3, that he did at Flamborough Downs on May 28th. So I think maybe he's the type that getting to the big track doesn't really have him go much faster, but he should be, plenty good enough to beat this group in here. If number 1, he minds his manners, and number 2, he can get off the gate. And Jay Harris is certainly, good at doing that.
My top one is 5 Horse Trader. He raced really well here. A couple got by late in the mile last race, but that was tougher than he faces here. Magic Wanda and Missy's Magic Man. Horse Trader is the 3-2 favorite.
Yeah, he did all the work in that effort and really set it up for Magic Wonder to come from off the pace. He went 27-2, 56-2. That's giant size fractions here for trotters at Grand River, and I think that the game plan's got to be something similar today. He doesn't, don't want to get caught in traffic with Horse Trader, and he's got that early foot off the gate. Like you said, it's an easier spot. He should be blasting early, and to me, I looked at it and said, if depending what happens between the horses 1 to 4, which all those horses do have a tendency of making a break, it could line up 5, 6, 6, 5, which is not, I guess common here at the River. But I think those are the 2 that I wanted to be on. The problem for me right now is they're 6-5 and 2-1. So the value that I was hoping to get with Mac Justice is not there.
Your next 3 are ones that each one individually makes sense, but then there's also some serious question marks, such as 3, Heineken Sealster, breaks in each of the last 2, but then a nice even qualifier here.
Yeah, and I think that Bruce Richardson knows his horse well. And last time, flatlining the qualifier, I said, okay, well, yeah, it wasn't flashy or anything, but really what he was in desperate need of is going out there and getting a flat line and making a good account of himself. He's certainly good enough to be right there with this group, and I think the reason why he's 8-1 right now is that question mark. 2 breaks in his last 2, but they both came from the rail. Sometimes trotters don't like that spot. Might be different now from post 3.
And number 9, Peter Crown, is one that you could easily love if he was racing like he did last year, but this year's been a different story.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, last year I think we'd be all over him in this spot because he was really consistent. He was like Steady Eddie out there. And this time, just 1 for 18, 5 in the finishes in the money, and now he's got to work in the second tier. I just looked at it and said, if I want to have a price kind of sneak onto the ticket, why not use Peter Crown?
And I think we both agree the best horse in here is Mr. Walker, but you see lots of X's.
Yeah, I think so too. And now he's got to work from the rail. I know it's a better post position in theory, but not necessarily for a trotter that makes breaks. So 4-1's not a bad price, but you've got to really hold your breath.
And Gerard Demers takes the driving. He wants to see what's going on with Mr. Walker, see if he can figure him out. Mr. Walker, Sheena Soldier on the inside with Heineken Silster in the center, Caprice and Horse Trader. On the outside, Mac Just is Veyron and second tier, Peter Crown. Field for race number 10. It's a field of 8, and there at the start of the rough, Mac Justice went off stride. Sheena Soldier marching. Horse Trader on the outside is digging hard as they work on around the turn. Heineken Sealster is third. Sheena Soldier. Horse Trader wants to trade positions with that one and is streaking on the outside now and is going to take the lead. Sheena Soldier is second. Heineken Sealster third. Sorprice racing fourth. Then Peter Crown. The field is spread up, and then it's Veyron and Mr. Walker is back trotting seventh. They race on to the opening quarter, and Horse Trader and J.B. Renault leads through a quarter of 28 seconds. Sheena Soldier is second. Heineken Silster third. Then fourth is Sorprice. Then it's Peter Crown, Veyron, and Mr. Walker. And the field works their way off the turn, and they head on towards us. Horse Trader with the front, leading by about a length and 3/4. Sheena Soldier and Paul McKenzie is second. Heineken Silster, Bruce Richardson third. Then Surprise and Mark Goddard. Then it is Peter Crown and Scotty Calder. Now Mr. Walker is starting to move on the outside for Gerard Demers, and then on the inside Veyron and Brett McDonald. 57-4, a solid half put up by Horse Trader, and Sheena Soldier is staying close in the pocket. Heineken Silster third. Sorprice and Mr. Walker steadily is making ground on the outside and is fifth as they work their way on up to 3/4 off a 57-4 halftime. And Horse Trader, Sheena Soldier, Mr. Walker is looming from third now. Then Heineken Silster and Veyron is closing. Then Sorprice and Peter Crown. It is Horse Trader. Mr. Walker was seventh early, but now is second and is bearing down on Horse Trader. Off 3/4 of 128. Horse Trader, Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker is going to come on by and win it from seventh to win. Then Horse Trader. Then Sheena Soldier and Veyron. 158-4. Mr. Walker. Rob, we can't be surprised, even though we didn't take this one with all the breaks.
It's crazy when you think about it. We both said it's the best horse in the race, and we let this horse go off of 4-1, and neither one of us have this horse picked on top. And it's interesting because trainer Gerard Demers just said, you know what, hey, if they can't do it, I guess I'll have to do it. And he kept this horse flat, and you could see when he started that move on the outside, I said, uh-oh, he looks a lot better this time. He looks smooth out there. He's probably going to be a winner, and he just kept on marching right to victory lane.
Oh, you could see it early, and look, he is the best, but we have seen so many breaks, and I mean, he didn't look capable last time of not making a break. He was really rough.
It's true, and then, like I said, I guess, then the trainer just has to say, you know what, I know the horse better than anyone. I'm going to go out there and keep him flat, not just keep him flat. I'm going to go out there and win, because he was trotting so strongly, and you could see he had a pretty snug hold of him, kind of keeping him together, but he didn't put a step in this week after last week, like you said, not putting in many good steps.
Well, he had a lot of good steps tonight and looked very smooth. And Horse Trader was a strong effort to be second. Sheena Soldier got a nice trip. Veyron, post position 8, gets onto the ticket. That should help it. And Surprise, 15284. And by the way, it's still 2-1 on the hockey game, in case you wanted to know, for Tampa Bay.
Do you have a cheering interest in this game?
I'd like to see Colorado win. I'm a Leaf fan, so I actually, at the end of all, I don't want to see Tampa Bay celebrate. And besides, they won the last two.
Oh, come on.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, I'd like to see the series get extended, just so we see more hockey.
Well, okay. But in the end, the Avalanche, that's what I'd like to see.
All right, fair enough.
Remember this, it's all about the Buffalo Bills, so we'll get really excited come the fall.
All right, that sounds good to me.
Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 10, one Mr. Walker, 5-year-old Muscle Hill Bay gelding, by Triple S Equine, trained by Gerard Demers. And Gerard Demers is also the winning driver, 4th win this year, 6th lifetime, Mr. Walker, 158-4. The 10th race payouts. 1 Mr. Walker 1025 2485, Horse Trader 280 and 340, and 2 Sheena Soldier 640. Dollar win for 1200 and 1935. 20-cent high 5 is 559.92. $2 exactor 31.40. Dollar try 127.45, and the double 150.70. The 10th race order finish from the top 1, 3, 6, 5 to 8, scratch 4, 7. That's 1, 3, 6, 5 to 8, scratch 4, 7. Well, fans, that concludes the live harness racing program for this Friday evening. Note that racing action resumes this coming Monday evening. Our first race will go to post at 6:30 p.m. Good night, everybody. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, Christine.
Good night, Gary guys.